You wake up at 5:47 a.m. in a 12 tatami apartment in Tokyo, and the first thing you notice is silence. No blaring alarm. No panic. Just the soft hum of a rice cooker set on a timer the night before. You did that on purpose. Everything here is on purpose. You reach for your phone. Your bank balance stays back at you. It's not impressive. Not by Western standards. You make less in a month than some people spend on a weekend. And yet, here's the part that should terrify you. You're richer than most of them will ever be. How is that possible? You're about to find out. Before we go further, if you ever wondered how people build real wealth on a salary that looks embarrassingly small on paper, stay with me. Hit subscribe now, because what you're about to see will change how you think about money forever. You step out of bed. The floor is cool under your feet. You walk past a kitchen with exactly 3 pots, 2 pans, and nothing else. No clutter, no excess. Every object in this apartment earns its place. You didn't know it yet, but this emptiness is a weapon. You open your wallet. Inside is a small paper envelope, slightly worn at the edges. It has a word written on it in careful handwriting: savings. Not a vague idea of saving, a physical, sealed commitment. Money goes in. It doesn't come out. Not for coffee. Not for a treat-yourself moment. Not for anything except the one goal written on the envelope. You feel the weight of it in your hand. It's lighter than a phone. Heavier than anything you own. Something is different about this system, and you're only just beginning to understand why. You leave the apartment. The streets are clean in a way that feels almost unnatural. No trash. No wasted space. Every vending machine, every train platform, every sign, engineered with strange, quiet efficiency. You start to notice something uncomfortable. This isn't just how the city looks. It's how the people think. You board the train. It's packed, but silent. No one is spending money on a taxi to avoid this crowd. No one needs to prove anything to anyone. You watch an older man beside you. Plain suit, plain shoes, plain watch. You'd never guess he has more saved than most people accumulate in a lifetime. That's when it hits you. Wealth here doesn't look like wealth. It hides. And that single idea is about to unravel everything you thought you knew about getting rich. You arrive at work. Your salary is modest. Everyone's is. But at lunch, your coworker pulls out a small bento box, homemade, precise, beautiful. No one buys lunch here unless it's a special occasion. You ask why. She smiles and says something that stops you cold. If she buys lunch every day, in 10 years she loses a car. If she doesn't, in 10 years she gains a house. You do the math in your head. She's right. The number is staggering. This isn't frugality. This is arithmetic turned into a weapon. You start to feel it, a shift in how you see every yen leaving your hand. Every small purchase suddenly has a shadow price, a future price, a price you can't see until someone shows you. And someone is about to show you something even bigger. After work, you follow your coworker to a small building tucked behind a shrine. Inside, an old man runs what looks like a tiny financial office. No flashy signs, no advertisements. Just a nameplate and a closed door. You step in. He doesn't talk about stocks. He doesn't talk about crypto. He talks about something stranger. Patience. He shows you a chart. A single index fund. No excitement. No spikes. Just a slow, steady climbing line stretching across 40 years. He says something you won't forget. The people who get rich quietly are the ones who stop asking money to entertain them. You feel your chest tighten. Somewhere, deep down, you know he just described exactly what you've been doing wrong your entire life, but is not finished. And the next thing he says changes everything. He opens a drawer and pulls out 3 envelopes. Not one, three. Labeled differently. Living, growing, protecting. He explains that every paycheck, before anything else happens, gets split into these three envelopes automatically. No decisions. No willpower required. No emotional spending sabotaging the plan. You realize this is a secret hiding in plain sight. It's not about owning more. It's about removing yourself from the equation before temptation even gets a chance to whisper in your ear. Your mind races. You think about every dollar you've ever wasted on impulse. Every just this once. Every small leak that turned into a flood over the years. You feel exposed, like the system just read your bank statement without ever seeing it. And then he says the sentence that will haunt you for the rest of this video. Rich people don't budget what's left after spending. They spend what's left after saving. Silence. You walk out of that office into the cold evening air, and the city looks different now. Every convenience store, every glowing sign, every temptation, you see it for what it actually is. A tiny fork in the road between the life you have and the life you could have. You think about the envelope in your wallet, the one that felt light. It doesn't feel light anymore. You start walking faster. Something in you has changed, and you can feel it building. Because tonight, you're going to test this. Tonight, you're going to see if quiet, boring, invisible wealth actually works, or if it's just a story old men tell to feel wise. Weeks pass in a blur. You follow the system. 3 envelopes. No unnecessary purchases. No lunches out. No emotional spending. It feels uncomfortable at first, almost like starving a part of yourself you didn't know existed. But something strange happens. You stop checking prices out of anxiety and start checking your growing balance out of excitement. You stop feeling poor. Then, one afternoon, you check your account and freeze. The number isn't huge, but it's real. It's growing. Quietly. Steadily. Without drama. Exactly like that chart the old man showed you. For the first time in your life, you understand something most people never will. Wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wear a flashy watch or drive a loud car. It sits quietly in the background, compounding while everyone else is distracted by things that disappear the moment they are purchased. You think back to the man on the train. Plain suit, plain shoes, plain watch. You finally understand what you were looking at. You weren't looking at someone poor. You were looking at someone invisible on purpose. And now, so are you. This is a secret hiding inside one of the most expensive cities on earth, a country where salaries look small, but savings rates are some of the highest in the world. Not because of luck, not because of income, but because of a mindset most people are too impatient to adopt. The people who build quiet wealth aren't chasing money. They are removing themselves from its path of destruction. And once you understand that, you can never unsee it again. If this changed the way you think about money, even a little, don't scroll past it. Like this video. Subscribe for more stories that hit different. And tell me in the comments, could you go 30 days without a single impulse purchase? Because the real question was never how much you earn. It's what you're willing to become invisible for. Some people spend their entire lives chasing the appearance of wealth. A louder car, a bigger apartment, a flashier watch. They spend decades performing success of people who barely notice, while their savings account stays quietly empty. And by the time they realize what happened, the years they needed most are already gone. That's the trap. Not laziness, not stupidity, just distraction, dressed up as ambition. You think about your own life before that envelope, before that small office behind the shrine, before the old man with his slow, steady chart. How many small decisions had you made without ever noticing their weight? How many dollars had quietly slipped away, one convenience at a time, until the total became a number too painful to calculate? You don't have to wonder anymore. You've seen the other side. You've seen what happens when income stops being the goal and behavior becomes a strategy. You've seen a system so simple it feels almost boring, and that's exactly why it works. Boring doesn't attract attention. Boring doesn't invite envy. Boring survives market crashes, bad years, and impulsive moments because it was never built on excitement in the first place. You walk home that night differently than you walked out that morning. The city hasn't changed. The prices haven't changed. But your eyes have. Every advertisement now looks like a question. Every price tag now looks like a decision. Every yen has weight it didn't have before. You open the envelope in your wallet one more time before bed. It's not full yet. It's barely started. But for the first time, you understand exactly what it will become. Not through luck, not through a lottery ticket, not through some overnight miracle, but through a quiet, boring, relentless discipline that almost no one has the patience to maintain. That's the real secret. Not a hidden investment, not a market trick, just a willingness to disappear from a culture obsessed with looking rich, long enough to actually become it. And once you see it, you can never go back to spending the way you used to. So tonight, when you close your eyes, ask yourself the only question that matters. Are you building wealth, or are you just renting the appearance of it? Because somewhere in Tokyo, in a tiny apartment with 3 pots and 2 pans, an ordinary person just chose to become invisible, and in doing so, chose to become free.